libéraux. On reste guidés par nos valeurs, par cette voix qui nous rappelle d'être là pour notre communauté, d'être là pour les uns et les autres, parce qu'on est tous ensemble là-dedans.
I have seen this movie before. The Americans are going to get weaker. We are going to stand by our workers. We are standing by our companies. We are going to stay strong and get stronger.
This budget, 75% of the measures are for our sovereignty, to protect our borders, to protect our communities, to protect our way of life.
Nous miserons sur le...
We're focusing on Canada, on the whole of Canada. It's our country, it's your future. We will give you back control.
Elbows up.
Monsieur Carney, est-ce qu'on va devenir le 51e État?
Will we become the 51st state of the USA? Never.
Sounds like damning with faint praise, but I think you're reasonable. We need more adults, dude.
Nous sommes maîtres chez nous.
We're masters in our own home. Canadians will decide what is done here.
The United States no longer wants to lead, Canada will. Nous acceptons le monde tel qu'il est.
We accept the world as it is, without waiting passively for it to become as we would like it to be. We have gotten rid of two barriers. It's now time to build one single Canadian economy.
We build, it is how we build. We will build inclusively, and only inclusively, in full partnership with Métis, Inuit, and First Nations. NATO confirmed that Canada has achieved its 2% defense expenditure target half a decade ahead of its original schedule. On va protéger le régime canadien de...
We'll protect the Canadian dental plan, which has allowed more than 5 million Canadians to have access to dental care, affordable dental care, and will make the National School Food Program permanent. 400,000 kids receive it every day.
And essentials benefit. This will deliver hundreds of dollars more into the bank accounts of more than 12 million Canadians. We are no longer just relying on the strength of our values, but also the value of our strength. We are building that strength at home. Nous pouvons nous donner beaucoup plus que d'autres.
We can give ourselves much more than any person can take away from us.
With one purpose, which is to build a stronger Canada for everyone. Pierre, who's ready to stand up for Canada with me?
Veuillez accueillir le chef du Parti libéral du Canada et notre Premier ministre. Please welcome the leader of the Liberal Party of Canada and our Prime Minister, Mark Carney.
See
Merci.
Thank you very much. My goodness, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Diana. I owe you everything. I told you all those years ago we'd go places together, and this room is one of the best. This room, the people in this room is remarkable. Remarkable because of what you did. Remarkable because of what we will do together. Yeah. It wasn't that long ago. Many of you were there in January. It was minus 20. Doors weren't opening, and you knocked anyways. You were there. You answered the phone at midnight because it couldn't wait till the morning. Vous étiez là.
You were there, rallying your neighbors, your colleagues, your friends.
Driving 3 hours in April rain to make sure that every poll had a scrutineer. You showed up. You showed up again and again for a better future for all Canadians. You showed up because you are all in for Canada. partout au pays.
Across the country, on family farms, in schools, factories, businesses, people are saying the same thing. And they're coming to the same conclusion as well. It's worth fighting for Canada.
A year ago, just over a year ago, in the midst of a blizzard, we started down the road to make the best country in the world even better. We should be under no illusions. The path we've chosen is hard. There will be headwinds, black ice, steep climbs along the way. We'll have to be pragmatic and determined to keep moving forward. But this is the journey that we must make, because we are meeting in the middle of a transformation that will define our country for generations. And Canadians sense it. Au cours de la dernière année,
Over the past year, 300,000 new people have joined the Liberal Party.
les Canadiens et Canadiennes
Canadians who voted for other parties in the past now trust us with the future. And this is true in every province and territory of the country, all provinces and territories, everyone.
Les députés
MPs have switched sides to join our team.
parce qu'ils
Why? Because they understand the stakes. They believe that together we can do better. And premiers from all parties are working with us and with each other. Canadians are coming together to build a strong Canada. Canada strong, and that's the truth.
The world's changing, not gradually, but suddenly. Yes, some are still in denial. Rather than starting on this journey, they're waiting for the past to return. Nope. But hope is not a plan, and nostalgia is not a strategy. And if we stand still during this rupture, we will surrender our future to others. My friends, technological change is accelerating. We can either shape our future with AI or let it control our destiny. The foundations of the international order, the order which Canada helped build and from which we have benefited for so long, that order is crumbling. Bon nombre de nos anciens.
Many of our former strengths, which rested on our close ties with the United States, have become our weaknesses now. We understood these changes very early on. Other countries are only just now beginning to grasp the full scope of these changes. And while we have overcome the initial shock of the betrayal, we must never forget the lessons it has taught us. We must take care of ourselves.
Exactly.
And we must take care of each other as well. My dear friends, the path ahead will not always be easy but our country will emerge stronger and more just if we all remain united.
No, this is not the time for politics as usual, for petty differences, for political point scoring. United, we will build Canada strong. A Canada for all, a Canada strong that no one can ever take away. I feel that strength. I feel that strength in this room. I feel that strength. I feel that strength. As Diana mentioned, we feel that strength across this great country. At this decisive moment, Canadians are demonstrating just how strong we are. You know, it started quietly. People choosing a wine from the Okanagan over one from California. Anyone had any bourbon recently? No, I think so, no. Sorry. A family planning a vacation to Prince Edward Island instead of booking flights to Florida. Canadians are rediscovering our country. The Cabot Trail in October. The Columbia Icefield in June. The Festival International de Jazz à Montréal.
The Montreal International Jazz Festival in July.
The prairies at harvest where the sky goes on forever. You know, Canada's tourism sector had a record-breaking summer, 50,000 more train rides, 13% more visits to our national parks, 15% more visits to our national museums. Small individual acts of solidarity, but repeated millions of times. And together, they make a statement. We are the masters of our destiny. Absolument. Nous sommes maîtres chez nous.
We're masters in our own home, no doubt about it, without exception.
Of everything Canadians have done this past year, the most moving has been how we've looked out for each other, including amidst the worst tragedies. Think of the good people of Tumbler Ridge. When the unimaginable happened, first responders were at the school within 2 minutes. Teachers shielded their children. Neighbors held each other for comfort. Right after the shooting, Jim Caruso packed his bags, traveled over 1,000 kilometers to support families. And Jim said, I want to hug people, pray for them, and most importantly, cry with them. That's Canada. Looking out for each other, standing together when things get tough so that they can get better. I'm right there with you. Canada's new government is right there with you, inspired by hard-working, always caring Canadians. From now on, for example, with our new Buy Canadian policy, when the federal government spends, we will select Canadian suppliers by default. The days of our military sending 70 cents of every dollar to the United States are over. We are going to build Canada strong with Canada Steel, Canadian aluminum, Canadian lumber, Canadian workers. Hey. Nous le ferons.
And we will do this starting in our communities by building affordable, accessible and sustainable housing, and by building new hospitals, public transit infrastructure, recreational facilities and art centres. Because Canada Strong means a strong Surrey, a strong Nepean and a strong Sherbrooke as well.
We are building big things again by removing all federal barriers to internal trade and fast-tracking projects that will connect, diversify, and propel our great country. We've already announced 14 nation-building initiatives supporting over 500,000 jobs and over $100 billion in new investment. We're realizing Canada's full potential, our full potential in clean and conventional energy to power Canadian homes, Canadian businesses, and Canadian sovereignty. And we're using those resources to ensure affordable energy for Canadians today and a competitive economy for our kids tomorrow. We're creating new trade corridors from the Mackenzie Valley to Contrecoeur to Churchill to make Canada more connected, more independent, and more prosperous. And there's going to be a lot of trade going through those corridors because we have struck 20 new economic and security partnerships on 4 continents in just a year. We are on track. We are on track to double our non-U.S. exports over the next decade. That is $300 billion. $300 billion in new orders for Canadian resources, Canadian goods, Canadian expertise. And at the same time, our new defense industrial strategy will catalyze $500 billion of investment to build Canadian industry from aerospace to AI, creating over 125,000 new jobs in the process. But we've started right. We've just implemented the largest pay increase for the women and men of the Canadian Armed Forces. That's right. We've implemented that increase so that their compensation matches the weight of their responsibilities. And Canadians, young Canadians are already responding to the call to serve. Recruitment is up 13% since last June. From the coalition of the willing to defend Ukraine, to work, we will not rest. To working with Nordic countries and the UK to protect our Arctic, we are defending Canada and Canadian values with reliable partners. It's a more dangerous and divided world. That's the reality. So we are no longer relying just on the strength of our values. We are also building the value of our strength. And as we do, we're reviving the ambitious spirit that built Canada. Our country was forged by Indigenous peoples and voyageurs who mapped this continent. Think about it. They mapped this continent and they built vast trading networks from coast to coast to coast before the Americans had even left St. Louis.
At the end of World War II, Canadians came together to achieve great things, to build new neighborhoods for the hundreds of thousands of veterans returning home from war, to build new universities, to launch new careers, to connect our land through the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Trans-Canada Highway, and with Expo 67 to inspire the whole world.
My friends, we used to explore in this country. Now we're charting new courses again. We used to build in this country. Now we are building big, building fast, building bold again. We used to take risks in this country, and now we're going to the moon. Just the other day, speaking from integrity deep in space, Canada's astronaut, Jeremy Hansen. Jeremy Hansen advised us that as a country, we have to be willing to take risks. Recognize that sometimes we will have setbacks, but push through them and, in his words, ultimately know that we are going to persist and we will win. Yes, a united, ambitious, and confident Canada is once again taking risks to build a Canada that works for all. Now, let me put that in context. About a year ago, I received a letter from an old friend, Bob Zettel, who wrote, and I quote, "Right now, everyone sees the main threat as the Trump tariffs. But the challenge is greater. The challenge will be, as it's always been, to foster unity and the common good." End quote. Bob's right. Canadians are being called to serve, but not against something, for each other. And that is why you're here. Because you believe, like I believe, that Canada is only strong when it works for everyone. That's our objective, and that's our heritage. After all, Canada is a nation forged through accommodation, not assimilation, through partnership, not domination. The founding insight of our country is that unity does not require uniformity. This is neither a myth nor a miracle, but a series of choices made imperfectly across generations. Pragmatic decisions that have become a moral conviction. That our differences are a strength to be nurtured, not a risk to be managed. And so each generation has chosen to widen the circle, and we Liberals stand in that tradition. Wilfrid Laurier, who governed a country that had once conquered his people, built a federation strong enough to hold both. Louis Saint-Laurent, who built a connected and confident Canada through massive infrastructure projects and our country's first independent foreign policy. Lester Pearson. Yeah. Took that long. We definitely have an independent foreign policy now. Because it's based on our values in a world that is losing theirs. Think of Lester Pearson, who demonstrated that true security is social through public pensions and public health care. Pierre Elliott Trudeau, who enshrined the very architecture of a just society. Jean Chrétien. Jean Chrétien. Absolument. Jean Chrétien, who kept Canada united, sovereign, and free. And Paul Martin, who combined social innovation, sustainable health care, and sound fiscal management. And Justin Trudeau. They didn't give me enough time to list. But from, in many ways, this is the essence, in my view. Justin Trudeau widened the scope of our inclusive society by lifting, think about it, by lifting almost 1 million Canadian children out of poverty. He walked the path of reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. And he built a true compact with future generations. Now we stand in that tradition with the same conviction that the greatest country on earth can become even greater still. Mes chers amis,
dear friends, economic strength is essential for our mission because we can't share what we do not have. We cannot be strong abroad if we're weak at home.
And
we cannot build a better future if we're not in control of our present. A strong economy creates well-paying jobs. It gives us the means to take care of one another. It makes us much more self-reliant. So, we're building a strong economy to provide quality health care for Canadians, to provide a pension system our seniors can count on, to provide childcare that helps young families make ends meet.
Il y en a plus.
There's more. To provide a dental care program, a drug insurance program, a pharmacare program, and a national school lunch program as well. And to ensure the vitality and the diversity of our cultural sector as well.
We're passionate about building a strong economy as a means to a just society. Hear, hear. A just society anchored in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, where women always have the right to choose. Where you can believe what you want to believe, where you can love who you want to love, where everyone can be their entire selves and all have a chance to thrive. As Liberals, we believe in a just society where we take care of the vulnerable, where we pull together to make life more affordable today and better tomorrow. Now, we know that Canadians are under pressure from everyday expenses. That's why we're making government more productive through tough but responsible choices that will save taxpayers $60 billion. It's why we cut taxes for 22 million middle-class Canadians. It's why we launched the Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit to support 12 million Canadians who need it the most. It's why we're boosting competition for your hard-earned dollar in telecom, in banking, at grocery stores, so Canadians get lower prices, better products, more choices. Et nous bâtissons Canada.
And we're building Canada strong in the right way. We're building Canada strong in solidarity by creating good union jobs. We're building Canada strong inclusively as well, in close partnership with the First Nations, the Inuit, and the Métis. We're building sustainably because reducing emissions is not only a moral duty, it's also an economic imperative. We're building sustainably while preserving Canada's immense natural heritage through our historic commitments to protect our lakes, forests, oceans, and our wildlife. And we're building sustainably, ensuring that major projects of national interest benefit all Canadians, our children and their children too.
When we build physically, as I just said, we're building inclusively, sustainably, and in solidarity. And these same values must hold when we build virtually, because AI, artificial intelligence, the defining technology of our era, is arriving. And the question is not whether AI will transform our lives. It will. The question is whether it will improve the lives of all Canadians or benefit only some. Our goal is AI for all. AI governed by Canadian values, AI accountable to Canadians, AI that serves Canadians. AI for all can make the jobs of Canadian workers more interesting and more rewarding, and done right, and we must do this right. AI in healthcare can mean shorter wait times and better service. AI in education can meet every child where they are. And AI in government can mean a government that works better for you. My dear friends, this great country has been built by ordinary Canadians making bold choices and doing extraordinary things. Like the people in this room who show up. Like the people watching who never give up. People who believe in the promise of Canada. You know, it was just a year ago that Canadians were asked a fundamental question. Who's ready? Who's ready to stand up for Canada? You were, and you certainly are. You are. Et tous les Canadiens le sont.
And all Canadians are ready too. All Canadians are ready by buying Canadian products, by exploring Canada, by showing solidarity in the face of a crisis for which they're not responsible, through actions that no one demands, but that what everyone feels.
We are recommitting today to a simple mission in that same spirit, to build a Canada that's not just strong, but good. A Canada that's not just prosperous, but fair. A Canada not just for some most of the time, but for all of the time. Le Canada.
Canada is more than just a nation. It's built on a set of sacred ideals grounded in concrete foundations. We know that we're not perfect, but we will always strive to do what is right. We act because it's right to do so, not because it's easy. We consider kindness to be a virtue and not a weakness.
We remember on September 11th, 2001, the people of Gander welcomed thousands of stranded passengers into their homes. They welcomed into their homes without question, without hesitation, without asking for anything in return. And last year, I went there and I sat down with two of the heroes of that moment, Diane Davis and Beulah Cooper. Yeah. And they showed me a thank you card from a young girl named Ellie. And she'd written, and I quote, "Your kindness motivates me to use my kindness." Yeah. Yeah. That phrase, Ellie's phrase, captures what Canadians instinctively know. That virtue is like a muscle. It grows with exercise. When we are kind, kindness grows. When we seek unity, unity grows. When we are Canadian, Canada grows. And when we are all in for Canada, we will build Canada strong for all. Merci beaucoup et vive le Canada!